Today we're going to be discussing how to understand and counter media influence as a parent. But before we jump over to Uncle Kingsley, let's just play a clip. There's an interesting conversation that I watched and I felt I should share it.
Oh, he wanted it early on, probably when he was 12, definitely 13, definitely 14, and we waited until he was 15. We tried to look at the upfalls and the downfalls. We said, look, it's not like sending your kid off to college, but it is sending your kid out with a bunch of strangers into the world.
Yeah.
The main thing was this: go live your life, Levi, and if you're doing something you think's worth sharing, then share it. Don't wake up every morning going like, what can I do that would be a good share?
It's not living. It's like we always talk about this because we're actually following your lead.
Yeah.
I have a 10-year-old. She won't be getting even a phone for a long time.
Yeah.
She knows that.
Yep.
But also, I want her to live in this world.
Yeah.
Get the identity live first.
Yes.
You know, we're talking about with the book and stuff. This is when the kids, just when they're forming the identity.
Yeah.
If you're on the social media too early, the world's telling you.
Totally.
A lot of strangers are telling you who you are.
Yeah.
Should you feel confident about
Yeah.
yourself? Should you not feel?
Yeah.
That's the tail wagging the dog.
But also, I don't want her just scrolling. I want her writing songs or reading.
Attention span is a big thing. They get on too early, the attention span it becomes way too short if they're on it too early.
Concerns the parents are having, and that's talking specifically about social media, and it doesn't end there. There's cable TV, there are channels, there's newspaper, print. So let us know, how do we deal with the media influence today as parents?
I'll use myself as an example. Well, first and foremost, you have 13 years to deal with this.
13 years?
Yes. So the first 10 years is going to be your laying the foundation, feeding their taste, developing their taste for healthy, positive media content. What do I mean by that? I'm a person of faith, so most of the time when we're in the car and we're heading anywhere, they are listening to my playlist. Yes, it's my playlist.
Okay.
So what is fairness? What's fair here now? So guys, this is my list. Do you know this guy? Do you know Kirk Franklin? Do you know this? Oh, I don't, but I love the song. Okay, so I'm winning there. So can you come with your playlist so that tomorrow we'll play your songs? So they write them down and they give it to me, and I go check those songs out. If there's a problem with anyone, where did you get this? Why did you choose this? That is a positive song. It's a neutral song. What's a neutral song? So we start having that conversation.
Okay.
So I did this for 10 years. Don't forget, as a journalist, I also understood how much influence the media has on children. And then the place of scripture. The truth is, the art and the artist cannot be separated. So if you have if the source of the media is clean, the media will be clean. If the source of the media is not clean, the content won't be clean. So I had to let them understand that if I, as your father, if I'm a content creator, if I'm a media content journalist, that was even before terms like content became popular, So if I'm going to create content, what do you think it will look like? So they answered the question that this is why? Because these are the values I subscribe to. And because these are the values I subscribe to, I can't contradict those values with the content I'm going to create. So look at content based on the person who created it. So if you're listening to a song and you feel like having sex, know that the person who created that song actually
designed you to feel that way.
Exactly.
Designed it for you to feel that way.
If you're listening to a song and you feel like worshiping God, the person who wrote that song actually has a relationship with God. The same thing with TV, with video, printed words. So that was how I was able to create that taste for them. And then I was lucky too, because they took it hook, line, and sinker, and that became their filtering template. So whenever they are listening to anything, they gauge how they are feeling. If they don't like how they are feeling, don't you turn it off. None. So we're not meant to listen to that. And that was how we were able to do this thing. And then, of course, TV was a major issue. And I also taught them that TV is an intruder in the house, whether you like it or not. How?
Intruder.
Yes, it's a third party. if we're discussing and there's TV on, we're going to be watching TV. So if we want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. But if you want the TV on, then there's somebody else part of the so turn it off and then discuss. And I noticed that whenever the TV is not on, you see them interacting, playing games and talking and being themselves. The moment the TV comes on, they suspend everything, and I say, oh, then this guy, we need to regulate this guy. And we succeeded in regulating it to a point where they only watch TV on Sundays, and even on Sundays before you're done is house fellowship. What I have observed, even right now, they're in the same school, they interact a lot because there's even no TV there, because we formed that culture from home.
So they're not bored.
They are not bored. We had games, we had outdoor activities, we had so many things. And then the ones who had flair for writing, that was when they formed it. You know, I have 2 kids who write so well. The third one speaks, she's more like the talking type, you know.
Okay.
And the boy likes to create things. All of this happened because we had to take TV out of the equation, and then phone. So I made a mistake with my first child. We got her a phone when she was in SS1, and till date, looking back, I think that was an error.
When she was in SS1?
Yes.
So she was how old now?
She's 17 now.
No, I mean then, when she got the phone.
She was, I think, 14. or
Okay,
so.
14.
Yes. Now, we didn't go out to buy her the phone. You know, you have a new phone, you throw away you drop the old
older
one,
one.
Yeah.
and then she took it. And that was how she got introduced to a smartphone. But my regret is that the distraction is so much. I'm lucky she's in boarding school, and then that can help moderate it. But I wonder what would have happened if that girl was in boarding school. But what did we do? I said, okay, you know what? Can you be productive with this too? Yeah, chat with your friends, create your Instagram and all that, but can you show me how productive you can be? And that was when she showed me one platform where you can go and read articles. So she writes a lot and she reads a lot. Now, the other ones, I said, sorry, you're not going to get a phone until SS3 graduation.
Okay.
Please don't ask
In
me.
flying colors. The flying colors part.
I've learned my lesson.
Oh, really?
So if you need a phone,
Okay.
use mine. Use your mom's. If you need a phone for anything,
Anything.
you have mine. But you are not going to have a
Your own
personal
phone.
No.
So, but how then can you control the external, influence now? Because I mean, these are your children, so
Yes.
it's like a direct interaction and monitoring. But you go for some events where there are children there, and the DJ plays a certain song, and you see the children singing word for word
Yeah.
some lyrics, and you're wondering, how did they get exposed to this?
You can't control that. You really can't. What you can do is create, like I said, a filtering template, a template that they can use to filter things.
Okay,
I have.
so they
done
come to
that.
the decision on their own.
Yes, I mean, you can't. For instance, I got to know Mohbad through my kids. I never knew the guy.
Before.
Yes. And how did I go to know? One of them was singing. I said, what's that? He said, Daddy, that's Mohbad. I said, when did you get that? A friend in class was singing it.
Yeah.
I didn't condemn her. I didn't,
Okay.
that will happen. But she was unconsciously doing it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what you can do, okay, do you know the meaning of the song? No. Okay, so let's check it out. I do that a lot. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's check it out. So, Google, Mohbad, OPK. And then-
KPK.
what do you call it?
It's
KPK.
KPK.
KPK, okay. So, and the song popped up, and
You see it.
it doesn't really have any meaning. I said, well, that's what you were singing. Okay, I'll stop it.
Okay, so let's talk about.
But sorry,
Okay,
Chiwede,
sorry.
These, I could do this because I have a relationship. So if you don't have a relationship with your children, you can't start gatekeeping when it comes to media content. You really can't. You will decree. You will control, you will back down others, but what they will do will be based on the relationship they have with you, and then the place of personal examples. When I'm alone, my content consumption is clean, and when I'm with them, it's the same thing. So they are able to see my phone, see what I'm watching, see what I'm consuming, listening to, and then that is the real deal, the place of personal example.
How would you say parents should introduce their children to, social media and even media generally? Because, I mean, for some of us, we learnt a few things from watching TV, actually. For some people, they were able to even conceive the concept of even being like TV presenters now because they watched it on TV. Yeah. So at what point would you say parents should introduce their children to social media? Because some people would still make money from social media eventually. Some of our children will still make money from social media because we are seeing a lot of people do that right now. So at what point would you say the child should be introduced into it and just let the person know, okay, this is what you should do and all that? Because we cannot really say, okay, this is totally bad or negative.
Yeah, I think at the point where you have schooled yourself enough, you have educated yourself enough, and it pains. I mean, I'm disappointed sometimes knowing that a lot of parents are ignorant of media and how powerful it is. So you consume media content and you don't understand how pervasive and how influential what you watch is. You don't understand what education. I tell people, education doesn't happen in school alone. You know that? It doesn't happen in school. If you there's this example I keep giving. This lady who is the captain of the US football team, the lady that wears this blonde short hair.
Blonde short hair, yeah. I'm trying to remember her name
Rapinoe,
now.
something.
Rapinoe, yeah, that's
yes.
the name. That's the name.
You remember the final the episode of the Women's World Cup that the US won?
Yeah.
Okay.
She took off her shirt and ran to kiss her partner. Everybody saw, the whole world saw. That's education. 20 hours of teaching on same-sex can't erase that.
Actually.
So if you as a parent understand that, then you can program your children using the same media content. You know what I mean? For instance, I'm watching something and it hits me so badly. I don't have to tell my kids about this. I just say, can you watch this? And they get the message. There was a day I was watching this video of a woman. She was sitting in front of her. She was sitting in her room. And then she was sipping what looked like wine. And the whole image looked like she was in a plane. In fact, the first class cabin. And then there was the making of that whole gimmick. What was going on? It was a toilet seat. She was looking through a toilet seat, sitting on, Joko, this seat, this chair you use in frying akara. And somebody poured Coke into her wine glass. I showed my children. They screamed. I said, that is social media. Sometimes it is not what you think it is. And that said a lot. The same media content that you will say, don't watch, I used it to preach to them and say, kids, this is what it is. Sometimes there was a day we were in church and a very popular celebrity, I won't mention her name, saw me and said, hey, Kingsley, and we hugged. My daughter was there. You know what my daughter said? She said, Daddy, where are her escorts? One of the limousine. I said, which limousine? The one we saw in the musical video. I said, those are musical videos right there.
They're called props.
Props, please.
She could not believe it. So we sat down. I said, those are musical videos. They are not real life. She said, I thought that's how she lives. I said, no, that house she was in that video is not her house.
On City 1051 FM, your number one lifestyle station.
And we're back. definitely trying to conclude our conversation this morning on Parenting Today. And the conversation is just understanding and countering media influence as a parent. Our guest is still in the studio, Uncle Kingsley.
Thank you.
Is he still a guest at this point?
No,
Our guy.
Our co-host.
Oh my goodness.
So to wrap things up, what would you say parents should know and do? Probably for those who probably maybe it's too late for them. I know some of them already opened accounts, social media accounts for probably their 12-year-old, their 6-year-old.
They open for babies now. Babies,
The
who can
babies
talk.
are-
Yeah.
Babies are influencers. Let's not forget
How
that.
is the baby influence? What is baby
Baby,
influence?
we have children that are influencers, and they get the attention of FMCGs and all of that.
Yeah. And
a child can be creating content with the aid of the parents without consuming
the content. Okay.
That's a different ballgame. You get it?
Okay.
But with respect to consuming media, whether it is multimedia, video, audio, music, billboard, newspaper, books, all of these things, parents need to first of all have an understanding. Now, what is that understanding? Children need to filter, and if you don't have a value system, there's nothing to filter with. So create that template for them. What do you need to know whenever you hear a song? When you're watching a movie, how do you filter that movie? These are value based. You get it? You're listening to a song, be interested in the lyrics. My kids are that inquisitive. What are you saying? And then if you're not sure, go and watch the video. There was a day, Stormzy. Stormzy featuring Burna Boy and Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
I used to hum that song, and my kids took it. So one day, I said, guys, I saw this video, and I couldn't compare the video
The
and
lyrics,
the songs, and that was the end of the song. And they took it hook, line, and sinker. So we need to create that system, and then also gain capacity, develop yourself. As a parent in the 21st century, it is a crime to be ignorant. You don't know anybody, you don't know Mobad, you don't know Zinoliski, I can understand you are a church person, but know these guys. Know who is doing what, so that you can talk to your kids before they even see those things. You get it? My children know I'm very cool. I'm sorry to say, but I'm cool. And have you seen the Woman King? Daddy, no, we've not seen. Okay, let's go. I've seen the movie, and I know this. There's a point where children shouldn't see, so I'll tell them ahead of time. This movie, there was a rape scene, but don't worry, we'll talk about it. But there's a lesson I want them to learn in that movie, and I'll watch it with them. So every parent, you must be aware when it comes to media. Listen to a song, check it out, talk to your children about it, and then there's also the place of personal example. I can't overemphasize this. You don't want me to listen to this, you don't want me to watch this, I mustn't catch you listening to it and watching, because like I always say, children don't forgive hypocrisy. If you are a hypocritical parent and you're telling me don't watch this, and you're watching it, for God's sake, I'll just feel you're not serious. And every other thing you've told me about parenting will be zilch.
Okay.
And lastly, parents who take their children to parties, please, if you're not sure of the organizers of the party, please.
Not even parties, even lounges.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I really do
Beer
not know
parlors.
why you do
parlors.
such.
You take your children to a lounge, and on the TV in the lounge, there's
TV.
Naira Marley's video.
Are you saying
For God's
TV?
sake.
Right in front of them. People
Sometimes,
are
yes.
consuming things that
Yeah.
children shouldn't be seeing people consume.
Yeah.
That alone is child abuse.
Okay. Yes, sir, and that brings us to the end of the show. We would have loved to go on and on, but join us again next week, Wednesday, for another exciting edition of Parenting Today. My name is Rex Okiche.
I am Bibi Sasa.
And my name is Chiwata Onyema.
Keep it here, because we've got you covered.
City 1051 FM.